So a quick recap of nearly 2,500 years of history, so I might miss bits and skip over some. The Welsh, they started with hill forts, and hill forts were great when you were defending against raiding tribes, because you could all run up into your hill fort, move all the cattle in, and just sit it out until the raiders either gave up or, you killed them all. Now that's fine, but then when you get to a few years later, you started getting raided by people who understood how sieges work. And the trouble with sieges is, if you don't have a source of water and supplies, then quite quickly you're in a bad spot. And hill forts don't tend to have wells on them because they're atop of hills. So the Wales then moved to a more defensive type of castle like the one in Eula we've just seen, and that was a stone structure. It was defending a natural resource, and it was positioned to defend resources and to become a more defensive place that you could actually live in for a sustained period of time. Now that worked well for a bit, but then the English came up with another plan. Well, in fact, before they did that, the English had this idea that despite the fact that the Romans had tried to invade Wales and had found it so difficult, they built a wall to keep the mad Welsh in, and that the Germans had come over in the form of Anglo-Saxons, and that they tried to go at the Welsh, but they decided that they were full of incredibly crazy people, and they built a wall to try and keep the Welsh in. The Normans came over and they were like, well, we are the descendants of Vikings, we can get in there, no problem. So they went in and they were massacred, and then they went in again and they were massacred again. And I'm now in a place called Flint Castle, and this is a place with a very bloody history, because this was one of the first castles that Edward built that the Welsh smashed to the ground and burnt down. But the English did win, and it was because of places like this, and next time I'm going to get into why.